The United States' top priority on trade is making resiliency, sustainability, and inclusivity core values in our trade policy choices. We spend a lot of focus domestically on making sure that our economic and trade policies work for all people. We want to see a similar focus in APEC to make sure that we are expanding stakeholder outreach beyond the usual voices and finding concrete ways economies can incorporate inclusivity into their trade and investment policies. The San Francisco Principles on Integrating Sustainability and Inclusivity into Trade and Investment Policy, endorsed by leaders last year, were a good start. In line with that goal, the United States sees APEC as an especially valuable forum to prepare other economies for participation in modern, high-standard trade agreements, with commitments on pressing issues for workers such as labor, state-owned enterprises, inclusion, and the environment. We also want to continue APEC's long-standing support for the WTO. We're committed to working with WTO members who share our constructive spirit and our willingness to look for common ground. The WTO should be a place where we can come together to craft outcomes in difficult areas where we don't agree on every point. Several specific outcomes we would love to see coming out of these meetings and Peru's overall APEC host year to achieve these objectives are new studies on trade and inclusion provisions in FTAs, analysis and information sharing on how APEC economies can measure the distributional effects of trade on their people, or how the gains and losses from trade may affect different segments of economies' populations in different ways. Commitments to developing new methods of measuring the environmental impact of goods. For example, how to best calculate the full life cycle cost of a good, from the manufacturing process all the way through the end of life, and how goods are disposed of or recycled. Finally, we'd like to see further dialogues with Indigenous peoples to broaden region-wide understanding of Indigenous priorities on trade beyond each of our individual economies.